So this is something that's kind of bothering me. You can see I have the welcome back event open because I haven't been on. I think the thing that displayed it was that it was been for 122 days, so that's how long. Kind of realizing now this is kind of unscripted, so I don't really have like a good organized train of thought right now. But I want to go over like this game is good, but it's really held back by something really important, and that's the really the gacha system. So, oops, just because I haven't been back here. No, it's not this one. I think it's this. So you can see right here to get it. You can see this game's gacha system is really, the PGR's gacha system is really fair. In 60 pulls, you get S-rank character, and it's typically 70%. I know most games it's lower, and you need to spend more. So like if you're playing Genshin, you need to spend 90 pulls to get a 50-50 chance of getting the character you want. And that's the best gacha system on the market right now. Some people will argue Arknights is better. No. Flat out no. Maybe if you did some sort of like event Originium calculation, maybe it beats it out due to like how much monthly currency you get. But when I played Arknights when it released, it was worse than Genshin. So, and I haven't played Arknights since then, so I don't know, maybe things have improved. I don't know. But you can see here it costs 2,500 to, I should just say 2,500 to roll here, and you have, that's at 60 pulls, that's 100, that's 15,000 of these you need, and you can get that in about 2 months, which is, for this game's patches, the S-rank character you want comes out every 2 months, so it's basically aligned so that as long as you're playing every day, you will get the character you're saving for. That's awesome, but that's also the reason why I don't like this game. Even though this game should be the game that I should be wanting to play this game because it's really good. I made a Reddit post a while back on official, not the official, but community run subreddit, and it's like I was so distraught about it because like, so I like titled it, is there something like wrong with me? Why don't I like this game? And I couldn't really articulate it at the time because it felt like I was playing the game wrong somehow. And a lot of the comments were so the thing I was really miffed about was the daily missions. So I believe you get 30 black cards here, and then weeklies you get like, I forget how many you get here, but you get a good amount. I believe like 1,500, I think. I have to remember. But coming back here, you pretty much need to do this daily stuff if you want to be able to. You need to do your daily and weekly stuff. That's a lot of other gacha games will do this. They'll make you do dailies and weeklies just to keep you invested in the game. The problem with that is that when it becomes an issue where you're booting up the game not necessarily because you enjoy the game necessarily. You're booting it up because you need to keep up with the rest of the game. Like I believe next week, unless I already missed it, Crimson Weave is supposed to come out. Something like that. That should be somewhere in here. I probably already missed it, but no, the PV is already released, so it's probably next after this patch. So yeah, it's a fun game, but then it's to play things that I don't necessarily have fun. So like, you need to do your Warzone and Phantom Pain Cage. I don't really like Warzone, but I kind of like Phantom Pain Cage when I'm doing the ultimate version, not any of the easier versions. So it kind of becomes this thing where, you know, you're playing those missions, those weekly things, just to keep up, not really because you're enjoying the game or necessarily enjoy those game modes. And that really conflicts with my lifestyle. Like, I've sort of gone into the phase where I don't really want to play video games for necessarily every day. There's some days where I just want to do something else, like work on a hobby or work on schoolwork, college work. So there are some days where I just flat out do not want to play, and then if you're I've been playing Granblue Fantasy Relink, and the thing about Relink is that when you're not really missing anything when you log in, besides your daily gold ticket, which is kind of negligible because you could grind that anyway by doing quick missions. So you can sort of like catch up in a sense. But if you miss a day in this game, or miss doing weeklies in this game, all of this is gone. If you just decide you don't want to play this specific game, so you're putting yourself behind by not playing. So it creates this feedback loop where you want to play the game when you're not necessarily in the mood to play it. And that's really an issue with really all gacha games, is that they need you to log in daily or weekly or whenever, and they don't really give you the space to like do anything else. You kind of have to be married to that game, and that's, for me, that's not really healthy, because there are tons of other, oh my gosh, I made the marriage what was it? The marriage analogy, and now that I'm saying this, it sounds so weird. Now that's inverted, even though for games and for relationships, this idea is complete. My beliefs on that are completely flipped, or completely opposite of each other, but so what I'm saying here doesn't apply to real life relationships, but for me, this This is like being tied down to one game is bad for me because I want to experience more games and more developers' creative visions other than just this one. And that means I don't want to necessarily play the same game forever and ever and ever. I don't want to be in some days I just want to put a game down for like 2 weeks or a month and then come back later and you know, still feel like I can still play or still have an enjoyable time. And for gacha games, they really fight against this. They try to make it feel really, really bad for leaving the game. I know for this game, the welcome back message really tries to guilt trip you. The welcome back event starts with a CG that really tries to guilt trip you into playing the game, so that means I'm not gonna play this game after this video. But yeah, and even if I have that game that's like that I want to play, like Monster Hunter used to be this, Relink is about to be that game. When I'm going to log in, I'm not thinking, oh, I need to log in to catch up to get the next weapon I need on Monster Hunter, or to get this Terminus weapon grinded like in Relink. That might be a part of it, but another part of it is I want to do this now. There's nothing in Relink that's saying I need to do my Terminus weapon grind now, other than maybe the Lucilius raid that's coming out this month, or no, next month, somewhere in that time frame. But for here, it's like, if I don't do these now, I'm not gonna have the character I want with at the strength I want them to be at, because I also have to grind to get that character leveled, and maybe if I have enough spare funds to get their 6-star weapon as well. And that's really you can feel the FOMO going on right now. So that's what I feel is really holding me back from really liking Punishing Gray Raven, because I've never had this experience where the core game is so good, but it's just held back by a daily and weekly system that makes it feel like I'm not playing the game because I enjoy it. I'm playing the game because it's a chore I have to do. And to me, that's like really upsetting, because like, you know, this was a game I could enjoy if it weren't for these things, you know, staring me at the face, and the gacha system allowed me to play the game maybe on a weekly basis and still feel like I'm caught up on things. I think the other thing that contributed to that decision to leave was that, well, when I made that Reddit post, a lot of people were like agreeing with me, because I made some sort of gesture to weekly systems. Like, I felt like I had to keep logging in and keep up. And then there was one guy who was like, oh, this is 30 minutes, you're TikTok brained. And the thing is, like, I'd agree with him on if you can't handle 30 minutes of game, if you feel bored by 30 minutes of gameplay, you're TikTok brained. But the thing is, I would have agreed with him, but then turned it on this game and said, yeah, 30 minutes isn't a good enough time for me to enjoy the game. I want to be able to play for like, not daily for 30 minutes, but if it was like 5 hours on a day, one day of the week, which is about the same time as playing 30 minutes daily. It's 30 minutes times 7 is 350 minutes, and that's 5.5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours of... If I played this game like 5 hours a single day on a week, that'd be fine, but now that's spread out to 30 minutes on every day. It feels like, doesn't feel very good. It doesn't feel like I'm getting enough out of the game from those from those small individual spread out play sessions as would be if those were all condensed onto a single day, or maybe split between 2 days. So in reality, that guy was arguing against his own game in the context of my argument, but I couldn't properly articulate that to him because he made me super angry. Because I'm on his side. Why are you getting angry at me? And then that also made me realize there's a pretty loud minority of people on PGR who are not playing it because they like the game. They're playing it because they want to just feel superior to some random guy on the internet. And that's one of the reasons I left Genshin Impact, because that game's player base, the very loud minority of those players, they're the people who are just playing the game to feel superior to some imagined, to some imaginary strawman who exists on the internet. So yeah, I guess to wrap it all up, PGR is a great game. It's just held back by this really atrocious system that forces you to play every day, and I'd really love it if I could play this game maybe like once a week at most. So yeah.